VisiPoint uses a service called Wand to integrate your school's MIS with VisiPoint. In the early stages of an MIS integration, we will send a request for access to the school's MIS through Wand, work with you through the approvals process, connect the service once approval has been granted, activate the MIS integration on your dashboard, and help with procurement and installation. At the top right of your dashboard, you'll find an integration button. When you click on the integration button, select the drop-down for Wand. You will not need to alter the first two fields, as these will be populated by VisiPoint during the setup process. In this page, you can enter an email address that you'd like the MIS related correspondence sent to, and you can also select whether or not you'd like VisiPoint to take a photo of the student or guardian during the sign-in process. This can be useful for security and audit purposes. You can test that the connection between VisiPoint and your MIS is active by pressing the Test Connection button. It will display a green Successful Connection message if all is working as it should be. You should check this if for whatever reason you have issues with MIS sign-in. If this green success message does not display, please contact our support team. On the left-hand navigation of your dashboard, you'll find an integration menu with your Wand options. Here's a quick explanation of the menu options. Here, you can control which data lists sync between your MIS and VisiPoint, such as your staff and student lists. This is a feed of the attendance codes that are pulled directly from your MIS, such as the code for lateness or medical appointments. Actions allow you to control the student's sign-in or sign-out functionality on your devices, as well as check in and check out for exceptions, such as pupils arriving late or leaving early. The Terms and Conditions section allows you to set specific terms and conditions to be presented during the student sign-in or sign-out process across your devices. In this section, you can control which data lists sync between your MIS and VisiPoint. We will set this up for you according to your request during setup and installation, but you have the settings here to change as you see fit. Depending on the MIS system you utilise, there will be a read and or write option available. For example, schools using SIMS will have the option to read and write the student lists, but only read the staff lists. The read setting means that the list will sync to VisiPoint from your MIS and will update when there are changes. The write setting means that data collected in VisiPoint about a user will be written back to your MIS. For example, late arrival one morning. If you change the settings here, your profiles will be deleted from the appropriate address book, and thus any settings such as RFID permissions or pins will need to be set up again. Their user history will still appear in the logs and reports, so you won't lose that history. If you are already using a MIS integration and you would like to change your settings, you can contact our support team so we can help you to change this smoothly. To set up a new student sync, follow this process. First, select Sync Entity. Here you can choose from the sync entity according to your MIS. Select Student. Then choose the user type. Select the VisiPoint user type which you would like to link with. If all pupils will use the system in the same way, you can select the default student user type. Otherwise, you'll need to create a new user type first. For example, if you want the options to be different for signing in, out, checking in, or checking out for different year groups within a school, you'll need to create a user type for each. Then choose years. Select the year group lists from your MIS which you want to feed into VisiPoint. If you're simply using the default student user type, then tick the checkbox against all year groups. Then click on the Add button. The new sync will appear in the User Permissions table below. From here you can toggle the read/write options available or edit the sync. If the write functionality is not available for that sync entity, there will be no toggle function in this column. To set up a new staff sync, again, choose the sync entity. Here you can choose from the sync entity according to your MIS. Select staff in this case. It's important to note here that staff are not separated into departments within the MIS, so you'll be selecting the whole staff list. Next, choose the user type. Select the VisiPoint user type which you would like to link with. You'll need to create a new user type if you haven't already created your own user type for staff. There isn't the option to use the default staff user type because once sync is set up, the staff list becomes a feed only and you lose the ability to amend it within VisiPoint. Next, choose company or department. Select department, for example, science or administration. If you don't use departments within VisiPoint, then select no company/department. As staff members are not separated into departments within your management information system, your staff list in its entirety can only be synced with one department here. It may be easier to select no company/department here than separate your staff into departments from within the list in address books. Finally, click the Add button. The new sync will then appear in the user permissions table below. Staff sync is read-only functionality for the time being, so there'll be no toggle button within the right column. The attendance code list is a feed taken directly from your MIS and cannot be amended within VisiPoint. However, you can resync the attendance codes directly in this menu by pressing the Resync button. The attendance code list contains ID. This is the number that acts as a unique identifier for attendance codes in your management information system. Code. This is the code that will be entered into your MIS when the student selects a reason that corresponds to this attendance code. Description. This is a short description which outlines the function of the attendance code. Finally, type, which can either be void, authorized, or unauthorized. When you set up your actions, which dictate the actions which your students can take on the device, you will select corresponding attendance codes. Actions are your user-friendly terms that users will select on device, for example, doctor's appointment. When a student or guardian selects a reason on the VisiPoint device, the corresponding attendance code is written from VisiPoint into your management information system. Actions allow you to control the options for students or guardians on your devices. For example, whether they can sign in or out of the building via VisiPoint, or whether they can use the check-in/check-out functionality in the case of an exception, for example, lateness. Here are a couple of examples to illustrate. A primary school may not use students sign in or sign out on VisiPoint as attendance is registered by teachers. However, parents or guardians can check out their children for medical appointments on the VisiPoint system. This attendance code will be automatically synced with your MIS system to save the office team having to input this manually. A secondary school may want sixth form pupils to sign in and out through VisiPoint as they can leave the school during free periods. The school may also want to record where they are within the school grounds by using check-in/check-out actions at the different buildings. Select Actions from the left-hand navigation bar. Click Add New Action. Give your action a user-friendly name, such as medical appointment. Next, select your action type. This is split into sign-in/sign-out and check-in/check-out. The first option, Sign Out, signifies the normal sign-in and sign-out process conducted through VisiPoint, which registers a user's presence at the school. Check-in and check-out does not affect the sign-in status of an individual and in turn the emergency list. It's most commonly used where pupil attendance is not registered by VisiPoint, but where late arrivals or early leavers can be registered by a parent or guardian on VisiPoint to sync back with your MIS. Next, select whether to take a photo of your student at sign-in when using this reason. If you select Yes here, but have the photo capture set to No in General Settings, this will override your general settings. Next, select whether to show Student Terms and Conditions within this reason. Again, this will override your general settings. The fixed code type is used when there are no time parameters involved. For example, sign out for a doctor's appointment. This would likely be a fixed reason. You may want to use conditional code type if your school has different parameters for different times of the day. For example, a late sign-in may be conditional if a pupil is signed in late between 8 o'clock and 8:30. They would then receive a late before registration closed mark. If they arrive between 8:31 and 9, they would get a late after registration closed mark. Once you've set this up, hit Save. You'll then see a summary of the action you've added. Here you can choose to edit or delete the action or return to the main list of actions. Check-in and check-out actions can be used as well as sign-in and sign-out actions for any user type. You'll need to create actions for every user type of sign-in or sign-out and check-in or check-out you wish to capture on your VisiPoint device. The daily logbook is your dashboard homepage, which you can navigate to at any time from the Favorites section on the left-hand navigation. The daily logbook is one unified logbook where you can filter by user type for the logs on students and staff. You can also filter by date, sign-in status, and department. Your MIS information should be kept in sync in real time. However, you can also click the Upload to MIS button to force sync. Within the address books, you can also view individual user history by clicking on a user's profile. Let's tie this all together with an example scenario. A school may want sixth form pupils to be able to sign in and out on VisiPoint because they can leave the school during free periods. However, for all other year groups, they may want check-in/check-out functionality for late arrivals or early leavers, for example, in the case of a medical appointment. In this case, you would create a sixth form user type in VisiPoint and choose the year group to sync with from your MIS in Wand configuration settings. Then, within your actions, you would create a sign-in/sign-out action and select only the sixth form user type to have this action. In Wand configuration, sync all of the year groups with the default student user type, or create a new one if you wanted a different name for that user type, and then select this user type with your check-in or check-out actions.